Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our 10-gallon grow bag that we have with African nightcrawlers in it. Now, this bag has been doing incredibly well. In fact, I'm probably going to have to split some of the worms out of here at some point and move them into my urban worm bag where they sort of have died off for these African nightcrawlers. These are a little bit harder for me to keep due to the temperature requirements of them. They need a higher temperature than the red wigglers that I normally run. And because of that, especially during the winter when it's, 10, 20 degrees outside and my basement's running around 60 degrees, they can sometimes get a little bit sickly, I think, with that type of cold temperature. So with that, this system has been doing really well, and hopefully it's doing just as well now, even though I haven't added a lot of stuff into it. I've been trying to keep it a little bit drier because I find that sort of helps with the colder temperatures. When it's really wet, it sort of kind of feels more cold to the worms. So with that, let's take a look at the system, see how it's doing, add some water, add some food, and probably add a little bit of our charcoal or biochar. And by the way, the water that I'm adding is leftover water from a fish tank, so it's already rich in microbes and things like that, so it's already ready for them to sort of kind of work at it. It's not water from my tap, which is chlorinated and also typically, dead really at that point. So with that, let's take a look at the system and see how it's doing. All right, here is our 10-gallon grow bag. Again, just for anybody that's new to this, we do have this in a bucket. You can see that there's a grate in here. This kind of keeps it off the ground so that way the extra water can drain out of it. And I've got this tarp on top to kind of keep in the moisture. It's a little dry right now. Put that off to the side. And the cardboard in here, unsurprisingly, is dry at the top. I always add dry cardboard at the top. But look at this. Ooh. You can see right now, I just take scraping off that cardboard, and it just typically dries out around here. You can see there's a good amount of castings right on top. These are worm castings 100%. Well, it's a little rough digging in here, but these are definitely really nice worm castings that are on top here. So I'm really glad to see that. I'm just going to see if we can dig in here. And we already see our first worm. Again, this system's a little bit dry right now, so they're going to be a little bit lethargic. And it's been cold down here as well. But we're going to go ahead and get these all rehydrated. Let's just see if we can dig down a little further. I've been finding a lot of worms in here lately. You can see there's more worms. Still a little bit of food left, it looks like. This might be some food. Well, maybe not. It looks like it's flaking apart. Let's just dig right down into the center here. Look at this. Look at these worms in here and how large they are. As I said, these are the African nightcrawlers. These are big worms. They multiply like crazy when the temperatures are right, and they've got a lot of big worms in here. I did have a lot of juveniles last time we checked, and we had some babies, and it looks like they are taking off in this system. Now, they definitely, it's way too dry. It's actually dried out a lot more than I thought. I thought this would still have a lot more moisture in it because of the mass, but it looks like they've dried this out quite a bit. But there's a lot of worms in here. They're doing really, really well in this system. I'm really impressed with how they're doing. They do tend to like cardboard, I think. When I first got these worms, I put them in systems with a lot of cardboard, very little food to kind of just get them used to the way I run things, and they just were burning right through that cardboard, and it seems like they still are for a lot of cases. They're a really voracious worm. They go through a lot of food, and this system is starting to get a little bit tiny for them, which is why I think I'm going to have to split this up probably the next time I dig into here. I'm probably going to have to split this up, take out some of the worms. Look at this. This is a big chunk right here. This is just doing really, really well, this system. More worms in there. We're definitely going to have to add a lot of moisture to this. I don't like to have it too moist during the winter, but they do need moisture to survive. Here we go. This is a piece of that biochar I've been telling you about. It breaks right apart in here. This is really good for the worms, I think. It's kind of adds as a grit, but also it absorbs a lot of the microbes, especially moisture. Kind of can feed it back later as it dries out, that moisture to kind of maintain things. Here we go. This is what I was looking for a little bit. So I found a lot of worms like this last time. There's a lot of these juvenile worms, and they're just sort of ready to grow up in this system and ready to multiply as they've gotten larger. So this is a really, really good system. As you can tell, it's just doing really well. What we're going to do now is we're going to dig down into the center here. And again, I've been adding dry food to this. This is food that comes from my food cycler. It's a one of those grinding machines that just grinds up food. Can't break that one apart. And I've been adding that in here with moisture. Well, you can tell this is getting way too full right now. I can't really dig down into the center like I used to because of how full it is. Now I have to add this stuff to the center because it will mold over. So Let me just go ahead and grab a big shovelful here. And this is going to be a little bit more fibrous-y this time, but there is some crushed eggshell in there. And the reason why it's a little bit more fibrous-y this time is because of the fact that it, I had some, artichokes leaves that I put in there, so it's a little bit more fibrous-y. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some water. Now this water, as I said, is from a fish tank. So this water already has a lot of microbes, should get this going nicely. I do have water that has been dechlorinated and it's been sitting for a while in my sprayer. And I might add some also from there as well, but first I'm going to just try this a little bit. To see if we can get this mixed up, get it nice and moist. This stuff you got to really make sure you add a lot of moisture to because it's very, very dry. This is going to heat up. This is going to add some nice microbial activity for them. There we go. That's what I want to see right now because this stuff really is dry. And you want to make sure you get it all wet so that way there's a huge glob of moisture here in the center. Now we're going to go ahead and cover this up. We need to make sure that this is fully covered. Now what are we going to do? As I said, we're going to go ahead and add some biochar. Now this is, for those that have not seen, I've got a bucket full of charcoal. This is charcoal that is ground up, again, inoculated with fish water. This is what it looks like when it's in this little container. And you can see it's very black. It goes through a grinding process. After I make this, I make this myself actually. This is not something that I'm buying. I'm making the biochar in a fire pit with a retort. And you can actually see videos. I actually do have videos on that. I did that while visiting some relatives in the country in upstate New York. Granted, I know that everything is upstate compared to New York City, but you know, in the upstate area. Now this, what's great about this is that this really is going to hold a lot of moisture. And you can see it's like kind of muddy right now, but as this works its way through, it's going to go ahead and that moisture is going to release down into the system. But this is a great way to get some extra moisture in here. Now I am going to use my sprayer just a little bit, just to spray the top down and my gloves. I find that this is a really great way to clean off my gloves and kind of just get a little bit of more moisture on the top here. Now, if there's too much moisture, remember it can run out the bottom in this system, and that's no problem. And this water, while not fish water, it is dechlorinated, as I said. And now that should be good. Now we're going to go ahead and leave a lot of water on top there. That's no problem. These worms will be fine with that amount of water. And hopefully this is going to be moist enough. Now, one thing I can do is I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up and move it a little bit. I'm not seeing any water come out the bottom yet. But normally when I'm done with this, there's usually more moisture coming out the bottom. Now, last thing I need to do is I need to make sure that all of this wet material is covered up with fresh paper. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got a paper bin right next to here. And I'm going to go ahead and add in a whole bunch of paper. Now, you need to add this paper to the top, and what this does is this sort of acts as a barrier. So for bugs and things like that, for those that are new to composting, hopefully you are, if you're maybe taking this up in the new year, in 2026 here. But we're going to go ahead and cover this back up. This is going to act as a barrier to keep some of that moisture in if it goes up to the surface. We have, again, this bag, which is breathable, so air can get into the worms. And then at the same time, we also have it so the moisture on the bottom can drain out. And you can see, actually, there's a little bit of moisture now coming out there. So this way, it doesn't get overly moist in here. And it does have somewhere to go, the water. And with that, we just let this sit for another week or two, and we're ready to go. And they'll start working through this material. Now, as I said, I think next time I'm going to split this in half. I'm going to add half of these worms, or a portion of these worms, to my urban worm bag that has sort of been dying off because of just the issues with the heat. But I have an idea for that as well, which is some pre-composted material that I saw from Rockin' Worms and Jane. And I think I'm going to try that in my urban worm bag to add some heat to that system. So with that, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave some comments down below and let me know what you think.